NFL Nation, how you doing? Come on in.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
are
Let's
in
get
the
it.
building, baby. Let's get it. Wild card weekend, baby, is here. All the big boys are in the building. It's time to separate the men from the boys, baby. And it all starts tomorrow night, baby. 9 Zach. Let's talk to the family, baby. First of all, my brothers, how you doing, man?
Doing well, doing well. How about yourself, brother?
Doing fine,
good as
man.
always.
And
man. Ready
you,
for
Zach?
some football, baby. Ready for some good football, man. Playoffs, best time of the year.
It's gonna be interesting,
it, man.
It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be an interesting day, man. Interesting day. Little family, we invite you. We want to see your comments. We want to know who you got, who you gone with, and give us your reason why.
Yes.
So with that being said, listen, we got two said it. So let's get to it, baby. Let's get to it. First up, we got Jim Harbaugh, first year back in the NFL. He has taken the underachieving Chargers, has taken them to an 11-6 surprising record in the playoffs. His first year at the helm, and they take on a team that, though they won Sunday, is still struggling in the Houston Texans. So, guys, Chargers, Texans, what are we looking at in this game?
Man, I'll let you run it first, now. Tell us what you think. It's your rival, man.
Yeah.
But I like Herbert, and I like the coaches. I don't have no hate towards them, really. You know what I'm saying? But tell me that your coaching staff is trash without telling me that your coaching staff was trash. This is the definition of that. 1 year difference in the playoffs. From what happened
and
last
a lot
year?
of people would argue a worse all-around team.
A lot of people would argue that. Very, very true. I mean, the Houston Texans, I know we said, about the quarterback having a slump, and it's crazy because he had a slump year and had a kind of like a little step back, but he's still 10-7 for the season. So it's not really a bad thing. But at the same time, that division is kind of trash. Let's be honest about it. Say it together. It's kind of trash.
You're gonna catch me arguing. You're not gonna catch me arguing, I promise.
I mean, as far as this game, my expectations though, because I feel like the Texans, this is not their moment. I feel like this is the Chargers moment, and I'm running with the Chargers for a dub on this game, personally.
Oh, okay. I'm going with the AFC West. He keeping it in the family, baby. He keeping it in the family. He's staying with his cousins from the AFC West. Talk to me.
I mean, look, the Texans, I agree with you, man. To be honest, the Texans have probably been the most disappointing team for me this year. Like, I mean, they do have, 10-7 record is nice. It is better than what it was last year, but it's not saying a whole lot, especially when that division has gotten worse than it was last year. Colts still trying to figure out their answers. Jacksonville's looked horrible. Tennessee's looked horrible. Texans were supposed to be this knight in shining armor that was supposed to be like the Patriots were back when they were during their dynasty, but we just hadn't seen that. They really struggling in the run, something that a lot of people didn't expect, or some people did. They, whenever they brought in Mixon and got rid of, their other guy. But now we take a look at the Chargers, and they're in prime position to go in and do something big for this one. I'm looking at the injuries, and we got a couple people questionable, and I think the biggest one that's on this list is J.K. Dobbins and whether or not he can play. J.K. Dobbins has been that guy. He's, dealt with a lot of injuries in his past, but keeps coming back. And when he's healthy, he's dangerous. It's someone that Harbaugh has been able to lean on a bunch. And because he's been out for a little while, Gus Edwards and company, they've been able to get some reps and kind of get warmed up leading into this game. And we know the Chargers are going to run the football. They're going to run. They're going to control the time possession. They're going to keep the Texans off the ball for as much as possible. That way, this young second-year quarterback CJ Stroud can't go out and do anything ridiculous. So I'm with you, Nan. I actually think the Chargers, with their defense and with their stout run game, and then with a guy like Justin Herbert, who we know can throw the rock when he throws it and doesn't hold on for it too long, can go do some special things. So I'm going Chargers as well.
Okay. Everybody going Chargers. Well, I guess I got the already story, baby. Y'all already know, boy. I'm about the lone wolfie, baby. Despite their struggles, all season long, I just we haven't seen the best version of the Houston Texans this season. And what better time for them to appear than tomorrow night, baby, tomorrow afternoon in H-Town, baby, that the roof might be open. It's cold out. It's cold in Texas, baby. They still might open the roof, baby. Some fresh air blowing there. They need to do something to get this thing on track. I'm a lone wolf this one, man. I still believe in this team. Listen, this team was a lot of people's preseason choice as a Super Bowl contender. Everyone felt in love with it from last year, rightly so. Young team, young coach, great promise in future. My thing was this year you couldn't sneak up on nobody, and I think that's what has happened. They're getting everybody's best. No one's so it's the NFL. Any given Sunday, you understood that.
Sure.
You understand that, but sometimes teams can't overlook or not take a team as serious. But teams know now. Hey,
absolutely.
Everybody know about the Texans. Everybody's had to hear about the Texans in the offseason as Super Bowl favorites, one of the top teams in the AFC that's going to challenge the Chiefs and the Bills and the Ravens for supremacy. So now they see how it is. And let's face it, C.J. Stroud had a tough sophomore campaign this year for the Texans. In fact, he has thrown for 699 yards on passes outside the pocket, which is third most in the NFL. So inside the pocket is pretty much where you want to keep it. That's what he's kind of struggled at this year, inside the pocket. You let him get outside that pocket, he gets in his comfort zone, he's able to create, you're able to break off routes and stuff. So with all that said, I know I said I'm a lone wolf, and I am. I'm going with the Texans. I love what Jim Harbaugh. It's kind of hard to go against Harbaugh, but it's kind of hard because the man, like Nine said, like you say, Zach, man, coaching matters. Coaching matters. When you look at this team, and we all say for years that this team just was underachieving with the coaching that they had. So with that being said, tomorrow night, it ain't strong, fam.
I love when Dolph trying to talk himself out of his thing. If you want a little extra push, Dolph, I also remind you Tank Dell ain't going to be there. Stephon Diggs out for the season. They're back to what only Nico Collins. Mechie is also questionable. Right. I mean, if you need a little bit of a kick,
they still got Dalton Schultz. I'll give you a kick. We still got Schultz. They still got Mixon.
All right.
They got Collins, damn it, and they got C.J. Stroud. I'm going with the Texas, baby. Oh, that's right, baby. Houston, Texas, baby, at home. Pull the upset.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Upset. I'm taking the Texans. Look, 41.5 over under. What's your thoughts on? Do we go over this or do we go under 41.5?
Oh,
I'm saying
lately
under.
These over under ain't been over. None of them's been over really. Yeah. It's been very rare. I'm going under.
I'd leave this one the hell alone if I'm being honest. But if you're making me pick, I'm with that. I'm with that as well. I'm going under if you're making me pick.
Yeah, going under. Okay, going under. So we're all going under on this one.
Houston missing too many pieces, man. Houston missing too many pieces. I think to be triumphant in this affair. Just to be honest, I think they're missing too much.
And I think they need to be. I think they need to be over if Houston's going to win. They need to score. They need to shut it down, right? They need to score consistently in order to beat the Chargers, because the Chargers are going to hold big time possession. That's why it's going to be a low scoring game. And let the Texans can go and fire and take the Chargers off their game and force them to start passing the ball to their guys that have lost their hands in Palmer and Quinnen. That's the only way they win it. If they can keep running the ball and create time possession, Chargers get it. It'll be under if Chargers win.
But the one thing too is like Herbert's not afraid to throw that rock, bro. So if he has to throw it 30 times, he will.
They better all beat a McConkey.
and most likely it will be at least 70%, at least 70%.
Right. Well, that's what Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. come in. Right now, they are the only team in the NFL that have two edge defenders, the Texans, that are ranked in the top 10 in terms of pressure rate this season.
Mm-hmm.
So those two guys are going. They have formed a dynamic duo for the Texans. It's just been a Texans inconsistency on offense. But I look at the offense, and you guys just said who they're missing. But think about it. The team that they're taking the field with tomorrow in the playoff is basically the same team they had last year. Nico Collins. Remember, Tank Dell was out in the playoff. It was Nico Collins. They didn't have Joe Mixon at running back. They had Dalton Schultz, and they had C.J. Stroud. Again, it's virtually the same team.
Same as last year.
Yeah. The big difference is, and which I think is going to pay a difference in the mark, is Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon giving them a legit running threat will help them in this game. So that's why I'm going with the Texans.
Mixon has to show up, though. He can't put up a goose egg. He has to show up. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a must. It's a must.
Yeah.
It's a must he show up. All right, so 9 and Zach are going with the Chargers. Your boy Dolph is rolling with the Texans. Let us know in the chat who you going with. All right, next game up. One more time. Here we go. Black and Blue division. Still City, baby. Ravens. It's this like the Ravens finally, last meeting, Lamar Jackson was finally able to beat the Steelers. But was that just a mirage? Will it go back to normal? Will the Steelers once again remind the Ravens and Lamar Jackson that we your daddy? Talk to me, baby. Talk to me. Let me know. Let me know, family. What we thinking here, 9?
Steelers have lost, 5 or 6 in a row now?
Yeah.
It's so hard to say, to put so much emphasis behind them, coming in and just taking over. I know it's the playoffs and certain players have certain gears or whatever, but y'all lost 6 in a row. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some desperation within this team. But at the same time, I have been probably like one of the lone people saying with the Ravens when it comes to playoffs or in these type of moments, coaching has not been the greatest. And they don't utilize players when they need to utilize them, especially going into the playoffs. They'll be without Zay Flowers. That's been confirmed. You got to rely on Bateman, who has shown up a lot more.
Been doing well.
He's shown up a lot more, you know what I'm saying, which I appreciate. Aguilar has shown up a lot more toward the end of the season. But at the same time, are they going to utilize King Henry the way they're supposed to utilize him? Or are they going to wait to the third, fourth quarter like they do half the season? And when they do that, the game is so close. The games become so close. When it said, let's run him early, and we don't have to push it because we have other running backs. We mix it up, but give him prime opportunities to break open the pockets, to make the defense be afraid to double down on anybody. If they do that, it should be a walk in the park. It should be. But at the same time, Lamar Jackson, that person that shows up in the playoffs last couple of years, has shriveled at times, has shrunken at times, and has not looked like the MVP that we've seen him to be. So I don't know who's going to show up. I want to believe the Ravens will move on, but at the same time, I thought that last year, and I was wrong. So right now, I'm still picking the Ravens because the Steelers ain't look like what the Steelers are supposed to look like with Russell Wilson at the helm. So y'all let me know what y'all think.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I look at this game, losing Flowers is definitely huge. I mean, Bateman has been doing well, but there's definitely a different type of situation whenever you go from being the primary wide receiver versus the second wide receiver. Now you're getting all the main looks, you're getting the extra coverage from the safety, the extra eye on you. The thing that Baltimore needs to do is what Carlos loves to say: KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Right? Yeah. Run the ball. Deep shot. Yeah, and then just throw in a deep shot in there every now and then. I mean, you got the ability for Lamar. If there's nothing open, go do some work with your feet, right? You got Derrick Henry. Let him do work on the ground. And then pick your pockets, pick your opportunities, and take those deep shots to Bateman and guys like that. That is your game. It's very simple. It doesn't need to be more complicated. Make them beat that. Let them beat the simplest version of your football game because more likely it's going to be the most successful. Now, when we talk about the Steelers and their losses, so it's they've lost the last 4, and you go back and look at even just their whole season as a whole. There hasn't been a stretch of just really competitive games throughout most of their season up until these last 4 weeks where they played Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. And they all resulted in losses. And so we're starting to see the truth come in on what this team looks like and why the things that we've said where we don't think this is a good Steelers team. We don't quite understand how they're winning. It's starting to come into fruition. We're starting to see that now, and there are issues. There's holes. There's things that they aren't able to adapt to. Their run game has been better, but they definitely are not top tier. Russell Wilson is still the same old Russell Wilson that was with Denver not that long ago. That's making mistakes. That doesn't have the old stuff that he used to. Right? There's no magical water bottle like in Space Jam. He could take it and revive his career. It ain't gonna happen that way. So I think the Steelers are just underhanded. If they can stop the run, then they can beat the Ravens, but I don't think they can do that. So I'm going Ravens.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay. Ravens. Everybody Ravens.
Oh,
okay.
get a double long wolf here.
Here we go. It's early. Hold on. Just wait. It's coming.
Okay,
It's coming. Here we go. First of all, I'm gonna piggyback a little for now about Derrick Henry.
Okay.
I think John Harbaugh's coaching decisions in the playoffs the last few years has been questionable. You go out, you get the great Derrick Henry to pair him with Russell Wilson. Your thing was, hey, get through the regular season and get to the playoffs. Now you're here. Now you got arguably two of the most dynamic runners with the ball in their hand in the same backfield. Yep. This is where you use them. For his career in the playoffs, Derrick Henry is averaging 104 yards per game, and he only trails two Hall of Famers. That's Terrell Davis, and for a lot of you, you're going to have to Google this name, John Riggins of the Washington Redskins when they were the Redskins.
Old school.
John Riggins was a beast, man. So I will feed a lot of RPO tomorrow with Henry and Lamar Jackson. Zay Flowers being out is a big loss, but we must remember his favorite target is back, and that's tight end Mark Andrews. So Mark Andrews is there. So I think the Ravens are going to be fine on offense. I think Lamar will play a complete game tomorrow. The thing is with the Steelers now. Let's go to the Steelers. The Steelers have lost 4 straight, and in those 4 straight, they're only averaging 14 per game. Now, since Russell Wilson took over in week 7, they're averaging 28. But down the stretch, like the guys just mentioned, the Steelers have not looked good. Ravens finally defeated them in week 11. But the one thing that the Steelers did do in that game was they pressured Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he was only 4 of 13 in that game when under pressure for 34 yards, which was the 4th lowest completion percentage of the season. So with that being said, man, it's just I don't think that the Steelers will have enough, be able to score enough to keep up with the Ravens, despite if Zay Flowers was there, to me, it'll be a easy game, but an easier game.
Yeah.
I don't trust Bateman, but I trust King Henry. I trust Mark Andrews. And the thing that has happened down the stretch for the Ravens is the Ravens defense has started to look like the Ravens defense.
Yeah.
So, so with that being said, man, I ain't lone wolf in this one, man. I'm going with you guys right now. I'm going
we're
with
keeping
the
you
Ravens
sane.
also. You know, you got to help people out.
Keep that balloon down.
Yeah, you got to keep it down, man.
I do wonder, man, with Zay Flowers going out, if we'll see some more 2 tight end sets with getting likely more involved as well. Yes. I mean, because right now with wide receiver, I mean, you're looking at just Aguilar and Bateman, right? I mean, outside of that, who do you got? I mean, if go look through, we got Steven Sims, Devontae Walker. You know what I'm saying? So I'd definitely be interested to see them utilize both Likely and Mark Andrews in the offense this week when they do have to pass. And they're both good blockers. That's what I'd be doing.
I don't know why they haven't done that throughout the season. Like you have two talented tight ends. Why not use them together? Like, I mean, people always talk about how that's what the Patriots did when they had smaller receivers. But when you have the dynamic tight ends like they had at one point, why not utilize them like the way you did? Like, I don't understand why offenses don't do that. Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. That team won several titles doing it, and nobody seems to want to do it anymore.
Right. Well, we only got 2 games tomorrow. But for those 2 games, y'all know what time it is. All right, baby, here we go. It's the wild card version of straight balling. If you ain't ready, baby, get ready because your boy Dolph is ready. God damn it, I'm ready for some football tomorrow, baby. Let's get it on, baby. Let's get it on, baby. All right, so Wild Dolph going for his straight ball of the day. Damn it, I'm standing right here in the AFC North. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Lamar Jackson. Jackson to Jackson. This is Jackson talking to Jackson, brother. You've been here before. You've been the MVP. You got the record for most rushing yards in the history for a quarterback. So now here it comes down. It comes down to this. Here is the time. Now it's the time where you have to get past the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allens. This is where you have to take your next step. You cannot drop the ball anymore in the playoffs. Regular season accolades are no good. All that matters now is you getting this team to New Orleans, to the Super Bowl. But to do that, it starts tomorrow. It starts with your nemesis, who you just vanquished a couple weeks ago. It's time to stomp a mud hole in their ass again this week. So my straight ball of the day is none other than Lamar Jackson, because he going to be straight balling.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. That's a good choice. A good choice. You going Zach, or you want me to go?
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm saying AFC. I'm going over to the Chargers though, but I'm picking 2 players.
Uh-oh.
I'm going on defense, and I need these players to show up. They ain't been showing up like they used to show up before. I need Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack to show up and put CJ Stroud on his skates. Put him on them skates, because they have what it takes to stop them single-handedly. To be honest with you, they're too talented and too skilled to let CJ Stroud to get loose on them. So my big ballers, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Well, you know what? I'm going on the Ravens too. And I actually thought everybody was going to have this guy, but it's got to be Derrick Henry, right? Hold on, please, for the love of Christ. I need you to not hold yourself back. Try not to outsmart yourself and run the ball with Derrick Henry. Let that man, he's going to get 150 yards. He's going to get a couple touchdowns. Derrick Henry is my straight balling player this week. Let's go.
Ballin'. Baby. So listen, family, you got our straight balling players for Wild Card Saturday. Let us know yours in the comments. Believe me, we look at the comments and we will respond, family. Listen, also, don't forget to join us this Sunday morning, 10:05 a.m. for the #1 and fastest growing pregame show on all the social media. You see it in the background. You know that symbol. You know it when you see it. As the NFL turns with Zach, Nonfiction, Coach Rock, Jeremy, yours truly. Listen, PJ, and the great Carlos. Listen, we have fun. We love you guys. Stay safe, stay warm. Enjoy a great day of football, and we'll see everybody this Sunday morning. We
Absolutely.
out.
Cheers.
Peace out.